Everybody, so second video. Can't actually believe that the first video had over 400 views. I'm sure that's not a lot compared to other people, but for me that was really overwhelming. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure a certain amount were friends and family, but I've also received some emails from you guys, which meant a lot because at least I know that I can reach out to you guys. Because one thing's for certain, and you might not believe me here, but I am going to miss my job because I love my job. I love working directly with kids or doing workshops. I also go and deliver assemblies, and I deliver training to adults about mental health in young people. So for me, I'm going to really miss my job over the next few months. So whilst there's this uncertainty, I will do these videos. I aim to do maybe 2 a week, maybe each one to have a different focus, and I'm going to try and keep the videos to, I want to say 8 minutes, but I'm a little Miss Chatterbox, so that's not going to work. So let's go 10 minutes. So I just wanted today to talk about anxiety, because obviously, as you can imagine, anxiety is a really, really big thing at the moment. Not just our own anxiety that we're feeling that can be so overwhelming at times, but also the anxiety of others. And there's something that other people do without realizing is subconsciously they project it onto other people. Now, if you're at home having to self-isolate or following the guidelines of the government of social distancing, what you might have on kind of a lot, if not maybe your parents or carers, is the news. If that's you that's watching the news, just ask yourself, is it making you feel any better? If you get notifications on your phone, just ask yourself, do you really need to have those notifications on your phone? Because what happens is that it will just build up those feelings of feeling stressed and the anxiousness that you're going to be feeling. If you are self-isolating or, the social distancing, what might be happening right now is that you might be having to be at home a lot longer than you've ever done before. So instead of finding conflict at home, try and find this sense of feeling connected. Because as much as you're worrying, parents and carers are also worrying, but they've also got an additional worry, which is to keep their children safe and to care for them. So the biggest thing that I'm always saying is to be kind to people. It's really, really important. If I was to have my Year 6 class right now, and if I was to say to them, how much does kindness cost? They'd all be shouting, it's free. And I think that's the truth, is that we all have the ability to make other people feel better, and it doesn't hurt to be kind. It doesn't hurt to help around the house. Don't get me wrong, it's a complete pain in the backside, I'm well aware, and interrupts maybe what you're doing, but actually for the sake of making somebody's life a little bit better, it doesn't hurt. One thing that I've realised is that actually, even though this video was kind of for Year 11s and Year 13s, also there's a bunch of Year 6s out there that aren't sure if they're going to they're not sure if they're going to be going back to school to say goodbye to their friends and obviously their primary school. So I'm going to try and keep my videos quite broad from Year 6 to Year 13. Feel free to join me if you're outside that age group, but this is kind of just going to be trying to focus on that, because the hardest thing is just the uncertainty. And talking about that feeling of anxiousness is that there is a difference between feeling stressed and feeling anxious compared to somebody that might be battling an anxiety disorder. So what I'm talking about today is stress and anxiety. Those people that have an anxiety disorder is something that is diagnosed by a doctor, and there's different types of disorders. So it could be those poor people that have OCD, and those poor people that have OCD are going to be kind of having that fear of contamination already, so it's going to be so much harder for them, as well as people that fear going outside or people who have generalized anxiety disorders. So this is kind of just that general feeling of anxiousness, and it's completely natural to feel that, and you're going to have that feelings in your body, and that might make your heart beat faster. It might make your there's so many different places, headaches, tummy, your shoulders, feeling like as if you can't breathe properly, and that's all completely fine. But what I'm going to try and encourage you to do, she says, is to find your new routine. Obviously, you're not coming to school anymore for now, so what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to find your own sense of normality. Because whether you like it or not, school was something that's actually quite good for you to provide you with a routine and a sense of purpose. And, it's bad enough for the year 11s and 13s that have spent so long on trying to, prepare themselves for their exams that's taking away from them. That's huge. But with this general anxiety that we have, find a routine for you. Maybe set your alarm for a certain time when you wake up, rather than just sleeping in until whenever. Even if it's just Monday to Friday. Have a sense of purpose where maybe getting your work done and dusted if you're still at school. Also, if you are in year 11 or if you are in year 13, I'd like to think that you might know what direction of a career or what you wanted to study at sixth form or college. And there is nothing stopping you from learning that. Going online, there are so many resources online. Maybe even doing an online course about it, So there's nothing stopping you from still learning. And I really am a firm believer in learning. I read quite a bit. It might not be a lot because it's at night time and I'm half falling asleep, but I'm always reading. There's loads of different opportunities for you to learn. Also, stay active. I know this might sound really silly, but even if it's watching something on YouTube and copying them, so Jo Wicks does, and he's really good looking, Jo Wicks does a MetaFit or a HIIT workout. There's loads of different workouts out there on YouTube. Whether it's just going out and getting some fresh air, I'd like to think that you've got a garden that you can go and sit out in, or at least if you live in a flat, that at least you can open up that window and really get a good sense of fresh air. Also, if you ever wanted to learn a hobby, if you ever thought to yourself, for a New Year's resolution, or oh yeah, I'd love to learn a language, do it. There is nothing stopping you from learning to play an instrument, learning a language, learning how to do stitching and knitting and things like that, which is really cool, by the way. You might not think so. But yeah, just find a sense of purpose that you can really get into. I think sometimes, it's good to kind of find out what you like. And we are, as human beings, so used to being busy. It's a norm for us. And actually, this is a chance for you to slow down, to get in touch with your family, to stay connected with your friends, but to actually enjoy and try and discover what type of person you are. Because I think what happens is when we're so busy, we're so used to noise. If you think about it genuinely, if you're not watching TV or YouTube or Netflix or whatever, if you're in the car, there might be the radio playing. A majority of shops that you go into, there's always music, there's always noise that we're listening to. So actually try and find your sense of calm within yourself, because it's there, you've just got to find it. And that will bring you comfort, and it's those type of things that will help lower your feelings of anxiety, whether you're feeling the overwhelming feelings in your head or, as I said, that physical sensations in your body. So yeah, I did also mention about some helpful resources. So there's a couple that I wanted to mention. There's a charity called Shout UK. They're across the nation. They're a text message service. So it's 24/7, and the number, I can't remember it, is 85258. So that's 85258. So feel free to use them. There's also Childline, Samaritans, and again, if you're in Essex, you've still got Cooth. And maybe for your little siblings, being kind is that they're going to be worrying about this. So there's also this brilliant, it's kind of like a cartoon kind of handout that you can find online. You don't necessarily need to print it out. And maybe you could sit and do that with them. So it's www.mindheart.co. It's in Spanish, but you can translate it to English, and that's quite handy. Yeah, and I'm going to leave it there. 10 minutes 16, not bad, Jo. Stay well, stay active, and I look forward to kind of doing another video. And even if I can help just one person out there during this time of the unknown, then at least I'm still doing my job. Take care, guys. Bye.